Hello everyone, I'm coming to you from the beauty of my backyard. How I miss seeing all of your faces and interacting with you. I hope you can hear me okay. In the background there is a generator or something, or a yard guy who's been going all morning, so we'll just celebrate these sounds of life around us. You may also hear my children at some point in the video. I wanted to talk to you today about the idea of riding the waves of change. This ability to ride the waves of change as things unfold and shift is actually a skill that can bolster our own personal resilience. And this comes from resilience studies that show research-based ways that we can behave, but also shift our mindset to make us more resilient in any given moment. So when, before the pandemic, when we have our normal routines, our normal ways of being, of serving, of showing up, our busyness, these all contribute to a sense of identity, but also a sense of control. And so if anything, this pandemic has revealed this illusion that we had of how much control we have in our lives, which can be very disconcerting on all levels, because it affects our identity, it affects our sense of safety and peace in the world, as well as our ability to protect those that we love. So to ride the waves of change, we have to practice being present in each new moment as it unfolds, which includes how you feel in that moment. And when we are in control, we feel a sense of security because we're also accustomed to feeling a certain way, even if that's a certain level of stress that we have put on ourselves. It's because we have, in some level, chosen it. So now that we are experiencing collectively this experience or time in which we haven't chosen it and we're still being called to show up, but in all these new ways, emotions can arise that we don't necessarily have coping mechanisms for, or a level of comfortability with in terms of experiencing them. So I heard a quote the other day and I thought it was brilliant, and I wish I could remember who it was from. So if you know, maybe you can help me out. The quote was, "An uncommon response to an uncommon situation or experience is a healthy response." So meaning, if you feel yourself breaking down unexpectedly, or more anger or more stress or poor coping coming out in response to this uncommon situation that none of us have a rule book for, that is actually a healthy response. It means that you are in tune to what is occurring. If you were oblivious or burying your head in the sand, that would actually be an unhealthful response. So to help with that feeling of almost like, I keep thinking of swimming in the ocean, where it's like so big sometimes, and even if you're a good swimmer, there's those moments where you're out of control and you just have to go with the wave. There's an activity I'd love to take you through, and it's called Spheres of Influence. And so you get just a blank sheet of paper. It can be a notebook. You can write with whatever you want. It doesn't have to be fancy. It's very simple. You're going to write 2 circles. And the first circle is the inner circle, and you write the word control. And the second one is influence, and you write the word influence. So you will jot down the things in your direct control in the inner circle. The things that you can influence, but maybe you don't have direct control over, you write in that outer ring. And then out here in space, jot down all the things that you're worrying about or carrying that you have 0 control over. And those are the things you surrender, let go of, pray about, whatever is your way, your process. These are the things that you give yourself permission to remove from up here and carrying them around all the time. And then if you wanted to take it a step further, if you wanted extra credit, maybe you create like an action list or a to-do list for these things that are in these 2 rings. So I would love to hear how this goes for you if you do it. Even if you take a picture and email it to me, or you can send it to us on Instagram. We have a Riverside Unified Wellness Instagram. It's RUSD Wellness. So I hope you follow us there. Also, we're going to do a check-in on Wednesday, April 8th. And we have 2 times, at 9 a.m. and at 3 p.m. There's my daughter. email me at dmtwiss@riversideunified.org if you'd like to participate in that. And it's maybe like a 15-minute check-in. How was this? How are you doing? And then the invitation to dive in longer if you want once we get talking, but no harm, no foul if you leave after 15 minutes. If that interests you, just to check in and a way to interact with fellow colleagues around this idea of riding the waves of change, we'd love for you to do that. Also, I'm available for coaching for our employees. So if you could use coaching, email me, dmtwiss@riversideunified.org, and we'll either work out a time to FaceTime or Google Hangout or Google Meeting or Zoom or whatever works for you, even just on the phone. We'll get that going. And then for our videos, we're going to have a weekly series. Hopefully they'll be of support to you. If you know of someone who would benefit from this activity, or even if they're not a Riverside Unified employee, go ahead and share this with them. We're all in this together. We belong to each other. Please subscribe so you can keep up to date when we release a new video, and be well. I'm sending you my love and lights.